This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. What a freaking win, man. This team. Unbelievable. A lot of teams would have mailed it in. A lot of them would have. It is tough. The Rays come back after just getting kicked in the stomach in Seattle, getting all the wind knocked out of their sails, getting swept. End of a 2-week-long road trip. What do? They at least go win 2 series, man. God, I mean, so many guys counted them out. I thought about counting them out after that 3-run home run by Cal Raleigh in the 8th. But God forbid this team kept fighting, man. God forbid they kept competing. I'm just so proud, so happy for this team. Regardless of how this season ends up, you have to admire the way this team has fought, man. I mean, that is all you can really ask for, to show that this team still cares and that they're still engaged. And this team is doing more than that, man. We're going to talk about how fantastic Adrian Houser was. We're going to talk about what fight from this team, man. How this bullpen outside of Mason Montgomery is locked in, and how if the Rays keep stacking, winning series, the odds could be in their favor. And then we're going to look ahead to see how the Rays could potentially get a sweep tomorrow. But first, cardiac Rays, man. We got to talk about the comeback.
This is what you'll be talking about.
How about that 8th inning? It starts with Justin Verlander shoving. I mean, I have horror stories, horror memories from Justin Verlander in the playoffs against the Rays, man. I mean, he's kind of done despicable things to them. I think actually the Rays might have got him one time in 2019 in that wild card round, but still, every single time I like Justin Verlander's pitcher against the Rays, he's done really well. And it was no kind of difference today. He somehow makes 92 mile middle look so unhittable. And, the Rays were attacking first pitch. I mean, how many first pitch outs did the Rays have today? At least 5, maybe 6. And then when he got to 2 strikes, it was game over. He's so smart. He has so many different pitches he can go to. He has the changeup. He has the sweeper. And it was dominant stuff by Verlander. But, sometimes you just need to see a different pitcher. And, that's what happened for the Rays. And that's where we get to our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Again, after 2 pitches, 2 outs, he's talking about how many times the Rays have got out on the first pitch this game. Nick Fortes, another hit by pitch, his 3rd one in 2 games. He's like a magnet for the ball. And I can't emphasize enough, 2 outs, hit by pitch. Right then and there, you're like, okay, this could be something. And how many times have we seen this for the Rays? The free passes, coming back to hurt them. So it's nice to be on the other side of this for once. And then you go to Chandler. Should have been ball 4. Kevin Cash comes out and he's fired up. He got ejected, rightfully so. But, you can see that intensity kind of went into the team. And it was good to see Cash kind of get fired up like that, because he doesn't do it. He does not do it often. He does not. And so he was fired up. Chandler, ball don't lie, immediately gets a hit the very next pitch. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. I wish it was nobody out. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Yandy Diaz up to the dish. And let me guys know right now, did you think Yandy was going to come through? Because I did, man. There's no one I'd rather have at the plate than Yandy Diaz. And how does he do it? Same way he did last night, going the other way with it. Other way with the pitch, Rays tie the game. Brandon Lowe. You never see Brandon Lowe go the other way with it. He was beat on a slider. What does he do? Barely gets enough of it. Goes the other way. 2 mature at-bats from the Rays' 2 most mature players, the Rays' 2 best players in the biggest spot of the game. And don't look now, guys. Yes, the Yankees won today. But don't worry so much about the Yankees. Obviously, still worry about them. The Rangers lost today. Keep looking. Who else is ahead of the Rays? The Mariners lost today. That doesn't matter as much. Cleveland lost today. You start to look at teams that are ahead of the Rays. A lot of them continue to lose. It is just imperative for the Rays to keep stacking these series wins. And then, so I mean, obviously, it goes without saying that's why it's a turning point, and that's why once again Yandy Diaz is the player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It could go to Yandy or Brandon Lowe, but Yandy Diaz's hit, even though Brandon Lowe took the lead, everything was on that hit. After that, it just felt like all the air went out of the Giants' balloon right after that. And it was because of Yandy, man. It's his mature approach, There's a reason why the Rays didn't trade him, is because it would have been a king's ransom, because very, very few people get him on the line. There's a reason he said almost 400 in the 8th inning or later. I mean, he's been fantastic. And it's just such a confident at bat. Very rarely do you see Yandy have a bad at bat in that situation. And the thing that lets me know how locked in he was, he gets the hit doing what he's done all year, what he's done his entire tenure with the Rays, going the other way with the ball. They tried to go inside of 2-1. And, I first thought that he's going to get a hit because the first 2 fastballs and the slider were obviously the slider was outside, but the first 2 fastballs outside, I was like, you don't want to pitch Yandy outside. You want to come inside. They missed inside. So now you have to go back, middle outside, and Yandy made him pay, man. I mean, just what a mature at bat from Yandy, man. I mean, you literally cannot ask for anything else. And, we talk about what fight from this team. First time the Rays have won 3 in a row since they swept Kansas City. And again, it's not about how many the Rays can win in a row. Obviously, they can go on a streak like Brewers. Again, they're not going to win 13 in a row. But, how many can you stack? Can you win 8 out of 10? Right now, the Rays have won 4 out of 5. That's a really good start. You keep stacking these wins. Guess what? You're still, 5.5 back from the Yankees. Yankees come to Steinbrenner for 2 games after this. If you win tomorrow, you can really start to go into that series with some momentum. But we can't look too far ahead. We got to worry about the game tomorrow. But again, I cannot emphasize enough how proud I am of the fight of this team. I mean, just you don't understand how easy it would have been to mail it in. You're in game 123 of the season or whatever it was. You just got swept in Seattle. You're going to West Sacramento. There's nobody in the stadium. Why play hard, right? What's the incentive to play hard? It's because you care about your teammates. You care about the sport. You care about the grind. And the Rays, it is tough as someone that obviously has never played professionally, but has played sports in college. It is tough when you're in a losing streak to keep showing up, to keep grinding, to keep going in every single day and doing the same thing over and over again when it's not working. But you form a togetherness with your teammates, a togetherness with the staff in order to come out of that. The Rays so many times were on the doorstep of breaking out of this slump, and the slump that went on for 6 weeks. Now that work they were doing has allowed them to break out of it. And I'm just so happy for this team, regardless of how the season ends up. You have to admire the fight from this team. Simple as that. So we will keep talking about this Rays team. We're going to talk about the bullpen because you can't really speak anymore without talking about the bullpen and Adrian Houser. And we'll talk about that right after this. This episode is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. The grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings back the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're on the course or need an extra push to power through the day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers a clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. You guys know, late night with the Rays has unfortunately come to an end. It's a day game tomorrow, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still be pounding these 5-hour energies. It gives you the energy boost you need to get through the day. And golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. A grape, ginger, lime flavor 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the Bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snapper, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 or more to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit FIVE-H-E-win.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters Tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. This episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data, visuals, and get smart categorization for your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. For example, I linked all my accounts to Monarch and immediately spotted subscriptions I wasn't even using, subscriptions that I subscribed to years ago that I haven't used in years. Canceling those alone saved me money every single month. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Again, if you guys are in the live, make sure you leave a like and comment. We will get to them after we talk about how good this Rays bullpen has been recently. I mean, they got dragged through the slammer, rightfully so. They were pretty bad, but let's go in order. Adrian Houser, man, I kind of predicted that he was going to have a big start. I was chatting with some of my friends. You could just feel it coming because we talked about it yesterday. The way he ended the game against Seattle after giving up 4 in the first, he just locked in and got through. And today, he was locked in. The 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, didn't fall behind in counts, didn't walk anybody. That's when you know when you're locking. When you're not walking anyone. I don't remember many 3-ball counts except maybe one to Lee. But, he was absolutely locked in for the most part. Only 6-9 pitches, which, of course, leads to the super unpopular choice to take him out. And I get the logic for taking him out, going to Montgomery. You're facing 3 lefties in the next 4 batters. But first of all, Montgomery has struggled more than any pitcher this year. And he continued to struggle with the walks. He walked another guy. And, you just knew that was going to come back to bite you. Look, I'm all for analytics, but again, and Cash has done this more, leaving the guy in the game. He did it with Attell, he did it with Bradley, he's done it with Pepio. I don't know why he didn't do it with Houser. It's not a pitching thing. He's gone 93, 94 pitches the last 2 times out. It was strictly matchups, and it burned him. It burned him. Maybe if Houser stays in, maybe he's back-to-back home runs, right? You never know, but I would have let Houser ride there. And what I do like, a lot of times Cash has a tendency to leave Montgomery out there and let him try to figure it out. And he went to Uceta, and that was the right person to go to. It was a weak ground ball, just happened to find a hole, and then Uceta, man, absolutely sat down everyone in the 7th inning. And I don't really know why Junior is playing so far in on that. Just really, really tough. But anyway, you go to Baker, who has just been so solid recently. That changeup today was filth. This changeup recently has been filthy. His ERA in August is going to be sub 1.8. That's the Brian Baker you traded for. It was this guy. And the Rays now have 5 high leverage guys that you kind of really trust in that situation. And then what more can you say about Pete, man? You allow the leadoff single because Lee is just kind of an anomaly in the way that he gets on base. And what does he do after? Cost, you're 4 for 5 this series. Cool. Sit down. Struck out swinging. Fitzgerald, you faced Pete yesterday. Maybe you got a good look. Nope. Struck out swinging. Wilmer Flores, one of the best pitch hitters in baseball, hitting 440 something pitch hitting, barely choke up on the bat, like BA said, with 2 strikes. Doesn't matter. But kind of the worst half swing I've seen this season. Sat them all down in a row. That's some big nut stuff from Pete. I'm not gonna lie. That is just huge from Pete, man. Just he's been money lately. And what I really like that Cash did is they brought him in some spots after he struggled against the Yankees, and he has not allowed a run in August. He has not allowed a run since he blew the save against the Yankees in that game where Josh Lowe took the lead on a homer. His last now 6 innings pitch, no runs given up, and 10 strikeouts, man. He has been filthy, to say the very least. And again, I say the Rays need to keep winning series. Shout out Evan Klosky, friend of the program. If the Rays win every single series, counting with this one, which they just won, and that counts just splitting the series against the Yankees, but also counts taking 3 out of 4 in a series. That is a 4-game series. So that would put the Rays at 86 wins. That probably makes the playoffs, right? And, you look down the series, it's going to be nearly impossible to do. But, the Rays check that list, checked one off already. And, if they win tomorrow, that allows them leeway to lose a series. You know what I mean? So it goes on from there. So had to put that in to kind of see, yes, the Rays are still 5.5 back from a playoff spot. But, anything can kind of happen with this team. And, we've seen crazier things happen just this season alone. It's been wild, man. It has been wild. But let's look at the game tomorrow, and the Rays are facing another ace. It's Logan Webb, 10-9 with a 3.3 ERA. He has been really good this year. Got touched up a little bit, was for 8 hits, 6 1/3, 4 earned against the Padres last game. A big thing for him, his last 4 starts, in 3 of them, he's only gotten one run of run support. It's been documented how bad the Giants have been recently, and that's a big part of it. Before that, he faced the Pirates in back-to-back outings, and in over 11 2/3 only gave up 2 runs. So he's a guy that will give up his fair share of hits. You look at these 8 hits against Padres, 7 against the Pirates, 5 against the Pirates again, 8 against the Mets, 6 against the Dodgers, 7 against the Athletics, 7 against Arizona. And this is all, I'm reading this just straight out of, his game log, what's happened recently. So the Rays are gonna have their opportunities against him. But, how are they gonna lock in against him? Lefties are hitting almost 300 against him. you don't have to say it anymore. I don't think Josh Lowe is going to play tomorrow with his oblique, unfortunately. The Rays desperately need a left-handed outfielding bat. It it's tough. It's tough to keep going with Pereira playing and his high whiff rate, and he doesn't look overly comfortable against righties. So, I would love for Josh Lowe to hopefully just be one day thing. He's back in there tomorrow. Probably not likely. But for the Rays, it's Ryan Pepio. And, Pep is 8-9 with the 3-8. He's been really good at points this year, and kind of like a lot of pitchers, really bad. His last time out, he did pick up the win. 6 1/3, 5 hits, 4 earned. And for a lot of that, he was cruising, kind of just cruising through, and then kind of got roughed up a little bit there at the end. But hopefully the Rays can end this road trip strong. Let's go to the comments, as we will start with Mike H. He says, Cash got ejected. It was about time the last time he came out, got ejected. They went on a historic run. Yeah, maybe it will do the same. I hope so. As we got our Genius Cardiac Rays, the title fits well. Yeah, I mean, that's what they've been lately. Just showing so much fight. You love to see it. As we go to It's Cat, loves Cash showing some fire. Me too. And it might just be the kind of the pent up anger that's been going on. As go to Adrian. Adrian might be a first time commenter if you are. Thank you. He says Fairbanks got me fired up. I mean, he's got everyone fired up. It was just electric from Pete. If you guys are in the live, also make sure to leave a like before we wrap up here. As we go to Gary, he says, I cannot help but think back to the series sweeps that they suffered in Boston, Cincinnati, and Seattle. If they won half of those 10 games, would be right in the thick of the wild card race. Yeah, a lot of what ifs this season. I mean, I think this Rays team was good enough to make the playoffs. And look, there's still a long way to go to see if they'll make the playoffs or not, but I think they were good enough to. And, those are the 3, and there's been a few other games in there that you circle like, man, like those are going to be tough ones to swallow. As we go to Sarah, she says Baker was amazing today. He really was. And she says, love the Rays one on my birthday. Happy birthday to you, man. I hope the Rays made it even sweeter. As we go to a lot of extension talk in here. We'll go to I Love Legos. I wonder with the new owners, they extend Junior the offseason. Maybe. Also the Rays have a lot of control over Junior, but they probably need to get that done this offseason to avoid a lot of that. As we go to Xavier Rodriguez, also might be a first-time commenter if you are. Thank you. He says, been living in Tampa since 2019. Made the hard decision jump from my lifelong Nets fandom to the Rays and Haverlicks back. Let's make Caminero a lifer. Love that comment. Thank you for the comment. And yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. A few others in here. As we go to Mike H, this was really a really big point in the game as well. He said Magnum made another unbelievable play, was out there running it down. He got it. Was a bright spot. Yeah, he's played great defense. And then, same with the Lee single, he got there and held it to a single. If someone else out there doesn't play as hard as Jake Magnum, just trots over the ball, accepts that it's a double, not Jake Magnum, hold him to a single. And, Lee was playing games on base pass and got to second, batter too late, maybe. We'll never know. So if you guys have any more comments, make sure to drop them in as we wrap up here. Again, the Rays finish this crazy long road trip tomorrow, and we'll go for their first sweep since that time in Kansas City. So after this, the Rays head home finally and have a weird 5-game homestand with the Yankees for 2. Yankees for 2, St. Louis for 3. But that's a Thursday, Friday, Sunday series. That random Saturday off day because the Bucks have a home preseason game, and then they go to Cleveland and to Washington. So, big series coming up to say the very least, including playing the Yankees for the last time this year. They play every other AL East team at least one more time, and they play the Yankees for the last time coming up here. And you would think, man, hopefully the Yankees lose tomorrow, the Rays win, the Rays get to 4.5 back, and then you're really playing with house money going into that series. So, again, if you guys are in the live, make sure you leave a like before you get out of here, before we wrap up here, and we will wrap up here. So again, I appreciate last time, thankfully for the Rays, we got this one out before midnight Eastern. So again, I appreciate you guys joining like you have all kind of road trip long, all season long. And yesterday was our 100th postcast, by the way. So this is 101, just kind of a crazy milestone. We have come a long way. Come a long way, man. What a season it's been. I appreciate all you guys for the support through all 101 episodes, and hopefully to many more wins coming up for the Rays the rest of the way. So again, I appreciate you all so very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon.